jobs can you get with a felony? Can you get a professional license with a felony? We're going to talk it out. This is Tatum Talk. I'm Annette Tatum, and this is where I discuss my experiences from my journey. My journey includes incarceration, starting over, which means finding housing, finding an income, rebuilding relationships, and homelessness, because I had a warrant for 8 years. I was on the run for 8 years. So here is where we talk it out. I am uniquely positioned to help some of y'all through the worst time in your lives. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through, because it's been through a lot, okay? I could not have gone through everything I went through and survived it without having a lot of lessons to share. My journey is like a survival guide for somebody else out there who's going through it. So can you get a professional license with a felony? I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna be your test dummy, and I'm gonna let you know. I've already, this whole year of 2020, been working on getting an insurance license for life and health insurance. I started January, February of 2020, and now it is December the 10th to be exact, of 2020. No, today's the 10th. Yeah, today's the 10th. Last week, I got a call from an attorney at the Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking. Let me go back up, rewind. So basically, I'm in DC, right? You have to get permission from the commissioner's office to get a license to do business in the insurance industry. So that's where they do the background check, and they look at your record, and they look at your criminal history, and I submitted letters, character letters. They look at employment history, they look at a lot of stuff. And then they decide, there's 5 people in the committee here, they decide whether they're gonna grant you yes or no, that you can participate in the business of insurance. And once you get that yes, then you take that to the licensing board, which is the National NIPR, which is the National Institute of Producers Registry. I forgot what it stands for, but they're the ones that issue the license for you to be insured, for you to, be an insurance producer. So the steps that I've been doing started in January, February, where I called the commissioner's office to say, hey, I have a felony. I read online that you can't have a felony and get this license. Is that? And he said, no. He said, just apply. Go ahead and apply, and we will look at everybody's situation on a case-by-case basis. Okay, that sounds fair. But in order to apply, in order to get to the point where they can look at your case, you have to first take the test. You have to pass the test. You have to do the background check first, and then they start to look at everything. But in order to pass the test, you got to study for the test. So I had to first purchase the course, which I spent maybe, I think it's $200, but I had a discount code for the from the company that I want to work under. Lets you get a code, so it was like half price. So $100 for that. You get the course, you study. Some people could do it, they say 2 weeks. Some people could do it in 30 days. It took me about 90 days to go through the course, take the practice test a couple of times, make sure I could pass it. Just when I was just about to finish the course, came in March, and I couldn't really get an exam scheduled until May. So May 1st, I got this exam scheduled. I went to go take that. I passed. You pay to sit and take that too. That was like $75. I was in training. The company that I want to be licensed under, I was in training with them, so that was $97 a month. I was paying that from February to May. I took this test. I passed the test the same day. I got my results the same day, and then the next step is applying for the license, right? So you got to pay for that too. That was $100. I paid for that online. I submitted my results. But because I have the felony, this is where most people would have just paid their money and sent in their results from their test and just waited 2-3 days, and they probably would have been licensed. This is where it goes left for me because I have a felony. So now it's like an extra couple of steps more. And I had no idea how long this process was going to be, but I was committed, right? Because I'm trying to be in a position to where I can afford market rate rent, and I'm trying to level up.
Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Okay, I'm trying to level up because market rate rent out here is crazy. You got to be able to afford like $1,700, $1,800 a month, right? So in order for me to be able to do that, I'm like, what can I do that's gonna pay me more than at least $1,000 a week or more than that, right? So I know that this was a good option. I know insurance been around forever. It's not going nowhere. People gonna always need it, and because of the Facebook group I'm a part of, that's underneath the company that I'm going to be working under, people that are in it are telling me, they're testifying, and they're like, this week I made $1,400. This week I made $6,000, $5,000. The numbers are out there. So I'm like, okay, this is a valuable profession to get in right now. I had no idea going in that this was going to take this long. I've been waiting since June. Here it is December. So 6 months. I've been waiting 6 months, y'all. But next week, I should have an answer. Because he called me last week and he said, you're next. The decision to decide on your case is going to happen in the next week or two. Next week, I'm expecting to hear something. He said, I'm not privy to what the committee is doing. I don't know if you're going to get the yes or get the no, but I just want to, tell you, because I know you've been waiting a long time, not to be discouraged. So if you get a no, keep going and, just reapply next year. He did say, because I'm still in probation, he did say that might be a factor. But, we'll see what happens. I have faith. I'm optimistic. I really think that I'm going to get the license. I really do. So what you have to do is, after you take the test, pass the test, you get this, download this form online, and it might be different in every state, it might be called something different, but basically it's a request from the commissioner's office or from that Department of Insurance in your city or your state, and there's a request. It's a title. I can't think of what it is now. I will put it down below when I find it. I have to look it up again. But basically, there's a section, something under the law that entitles you to make this request on your behalf so that they can decide whether or not you're a good candidate to do business in the insurance industry. And once they give that okay, then the licensing board is going to license you and you're good. And once you get licensed in one state, once you get licensed in one place, you automatically could easily get licensed in as many states as you want. You just pay a fee. It's like $34 or something like that. But basically, you have to be licensed in your resident state first. Once you are, then the next state is really just going to check and make sure you are licensed in the state that you say you are, and then they're just going to give you an additional license on top of the one that you have, just so that you can do business there, so you can have clients in other states. So I uploaded my test results and I filled out the application for this request. And then they wanted you to, I forgot what the questionnaire was. It was like 3 pages. They asked different things. You know, they asked about every job that you've ever had. I had to write that down. They want to know where you went to school. They want to know what your charges were, the previous times that you were, any priors that you had. And I thought, you know, maybe it would just be not going all the way back, because I do have a charge from all the way back, like 20 years ago. And I put that down too, though, because I wasn't quite sure whether they would find it or whether they would look back that far. But I said, you know what? Let me just be honest, because honesty is really the best policy here, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking to see, are you going to be honest? Are you going to lay it all out on the table? Are you going to tell them everything? Because that looks better. In fact, when I called back in January and I spoke to someone on the phone and asked him about applying for this license, even though I have a felony, one of the things he did say was, be honest, because it's better, it looks good for you to tell us first rather than us to find out and have to ask you about it. So you want to put down everything on the paper. And I know it looks bad, things look worse on paper than they are in real life. Everything looks bad in black and white. But put it down, be honest, and just pray on it. I did some research. In the state of Pennsylvania, I know that they granted 111 people with felonies insurance license. And some of these people had way worse records than me. Some of these people were murderers, and they were able to get their license. So now everybody, every state, every place is different. So I really can't say what's gonna happen here. I couldn't find anything, any precedents online about what happened here where I am previously, how they ruled previously. I couldn't find that. But it gave me hope to know that this particular place, DC, is felon friendly. They have so many programs here, and they really believe in giving people a second chance. So I'm shooting my shot at it. What I want to say to other people that have felonies is shoot high. You might as well, because we all know that you can't survive on something that's like $10, $12, $14, $15 an hour. It's not gonna work after taxes and all of that. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna be struggling. So you might as well not go for the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit, the retail jobs, the any kind of job that everybody is going for, you could probably get. But if you reach higher, not too many people are up here tiptoeing, trying to get up here and reach up to the top of the tree. Reach higher, and you might get that yes. Like, you don't know. You gotta just try, because trust me, it's gonna be a life-changing experience. It's gonna be worth it. For all that I went through, waiting and waiting these 6 months, it's gonna be worth it. And it came back and asked me for additional information like 2 different times. So every time I thought, okay, I submitted what they asked for, I should be hearing the answer soon. No. The next contact email was, oh, can you give us such and such? And then I wait another month, 2 months, and then they come back and they ask for something else again. The last thing I submitted, I want to say, in August, they asked for dispositions. So every case that I had, they wanted to know, how was it disposed of? And I had to call each court, and I had to get them to send me, and some of them ask you to pay a fee, and some of them don't. I had to get them to send me a disposition. So they wanted a disposition for each case. And then they came back again, I want to say October. They asked for, they asked, have I been making my payments or my restitution? And I have. So I had to give them all my money order receipts. And then I also contacted the court and asked for the printout on their end too, just so they could have 2 things to look at. And then finally after that, that was it. They didn't ask for anything else. They said we're going to be making a decision shortly. But it's a process. It's a process. It's not easy. In the meantime, what I did was, thank God that I was able to get this pandemic unemployment this year. That really helped a lot. So for 4 months, I was able to get that. I was able to save and work on my credit. I was just focusing on other areas of my life that I knew I needed to be good also. And I applied to work with the Census Bureau, the Department of Commerce, and they hired me. So yes, they hire felons. You can get a federal job. I did. And I worked with the Census Bureau from August to October. So that was a major accomplishment for me. And now I'm hoping this will be my next one. I will keep you guys apprised. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please hit like. Please comment below if you have any questions. I would love to answer your questions and hear from you guys.